Well, my zero waste year isn't going very well. Oops. What am I gonna do? Well, I've devised 10 projects that I want to get my teeth into, so let's get cracking. Hi there, I'm Christine the Gemini Stitcher, and welcome to my messy sewing space. Wind the clock back to January this year, and on the 1st of January I committed to going zero fabric waste in 2026. Now, although, hand on heart, I haven't thrown any fabric away, even the tiniest scraps, my fabric mountain is building because I've not been keeping on top of it. I've been manically sewing things for my hauls and the summer, getting all excited, saving all the scraps, but not doing anything with them, which isn't the idea really, is it? So here's my little scrap mountain that I've accumulated and saved up so far since I think about February. So, 10-point plan. In June, I'm going to work my way through 10 projects and see how much of these scraps I can get rid of during the month of June. I'm not going to do any garment sewing, shock horror. I'm going to do some embroidery as well because I'm getting behind on that. I've got my tree of life and I'll keep banging on about it, but it keeps going. I've still not finished the summer one, so I need to crack on with that, but focus on these scraps as well. So what am I going to use them for? Let's have a look at my pile first. So this huge pile here at the back are all my scraps that I'm going to snip away at and use as fabric stuffing. This nice little pile here, rather cute, is my jersey pile. So I've not done many jersey garments. So if that was my scrap pile, I'd be more than happy. This pile here is all my woven scraps. So most of the projects that I make are going to be using woven fabrics. Okay. So let's make a list together of potential projects that I can use for my scraps, and then we'll take it from there. I've had a nice cheeky brew and scoured the internet, and I found 10 projects that potentially could be made in June if I get my act together. Now, we're going to go through them together, and a few images will pop up here so that you get an idea of what I'm talking about. The first one on my list is one that's a little bit of a cheat because I've already made one of them, and it's a craft bag. Here it is. Really proud of this one. I made this out of scraps, so I cut out 2-inch wide strips and use them either side, and then I've embroidered different images off my embroidery machine and made a knitting bag which has got a double zip on the top, so it opens all the way out both sides. So it opens all the way out both sides, so you can get right into this bag, and then it's got a zip on the back for me to put my knitting needles in, then I can't lose them. So that's the one that I made as a knitting bag. As I said, it's self-drafted. I haven't used a pattern. If you're interested in knowing how I've made it, let me know and I will record the next one. I want to make another one, and I want to make it for my quilt projects. The reason I want one for my quilt projects is that the project bags that I've already made, just let me grab one. These project bags, they're great for garment sewing projects because in one side I can put my pattern instructions and an image of what is in, and then all my cut out pattern pieces, etc., into the back section. Brilliant for garment sewing. But for quilting can have quite a lot of fabric and blocks and wadding and embroidery thread, because I like to do them on my embroidery machine, and they don't really fit in these bags. So I'm going to make another one of these, nice big size, and it's going to be quilting themed. So this central panel, I think I'm going to get really brave and do some quilting and have a quilting panel using all my scraps up the middle, and then do the strips at the side again. So, knitting bag, love it, gonna make a quilting one. Project number 2 is going to be something that takes me back in time. It reminds me of going to my grandma's house, but I think they're really cute, I love them, and it's a draft excluder. Now, most modern houses don't really need a draft excluder at the front door. Your door should seal, but they look so nice. So I've chosen one from Sweet Pea Designs, one of my favourite embroidery designers, and it's their Welcome Home Draft Excluder. An image of it will be popping up here. And I'm going to be able to use all my little scraps because they're only small squares, they're all done in blocks and then sewn together and then stuffed with all my fabric stuffing. So that one is going to get rid of loads of my fabric scrap stuffing as well. And you can use the blocks then to make other designs and have a welcome home wall hanger as well if you want, and make them for friends. So I'm going to make more than one of these and hopefully get rid of a load of scraps as well. Project number 3 is an ongoing one, and it's my memory quilt that I'm doing. I'm making quilt blocks out of all the scrap fabrics for every garment that I make this year. Got a little bit behind with it, girls. So here's some that I made earlier. I've probably made about 10 blocks and I need to get up to date with that. So I need to do that as a priority in June before I make anything else. And then I can make sure I've got enough of each fabric, because I really want this quilt to be finished at the end of the year. And then it's a reminder of what I've made all in 2026. I've used, again, a Sweet Pea Designs. It's one of their, I think it's called an abstract or an offset star quilt. You don't have to use an embroidery design. You can just quilt it. You can just quilt squares, or you can do half square triangles and create a design. Whatever you want to do. But if you want to do a memory fabric quilt, save your scraps from every garment that you make and make it. The idea is you make it as you go, but I haven't been doing it, so I've got some catching up to do on my memory fabric quilt. Project number 4 is hopefully going to help me organise my sewing space, and it's a wall hung sewing tidy or craft tidy. Now, Sweet Pea Designs have one here. I'm not sure whether I'm going to actually use theirs or copy the idea and just create my own. It looks fairly simple to create. It's just zip pockets on joined together, hung on the wall. There's probably a bit more to it than that, but I've undecided whether to copy theirs or just buy the pattern. But the idea is you've got 3 or 4 zip pockets with either mesh or your clear plastic. I've got both of those in my stash. I'm going to use the rest from my scrap fabrics. I know it's got quite a big backing on it, but I can join different coloured fabrics together and use that for the backing, one for each section. It's going to take my rotary cutters, my scissors, the clips, the pins, the snips. You get me drift. All those things that clutter up your sewing space, and I'm going to hang them on the side of my fabric Kallax units and keep everything off my desk and tidied away at the end of the day. Project number 5 is holiday themed. Surprise, surprise. I do go away quite a bit, and I keep thinking and then forgetting to make myself a wall hung toiletry holder. Here's one I found recently on Amazon, and it takes them to the next level, girls. It's got nice little handles on it. It's like a little case in itself. So it's got gussets and zips. So there's 4 compartments in it. The centre 2 have got the gussets round and the zips to zip everything up. And then the outer 2 fold into the inner bit. I think that's how it works. I'm going to have a proper look at it. But that's the idea of a wall hung toiletry holder. Mine might not be that snazzy when I've done it, but I would definitely be making one of these for my little trips away. Can put everything in there, hang it on the back of the bathroom door. Job's a good one. Project number 6 is another self-drafted one. I'm doing a lot of these myself, aren't I? So whether I get them done in a month is, another question, isn't it? But this one's going to be fairly simple. Famous last words. It's to go with my house draft excluder, and it's a house-shaped doorstop. Now, I'm probably going to make about 2 or 3 of these because I'm sick of doors being left open. We open the front door and the back door and doors bang. I'm hoping this might help with that. So I want to make at least 2 of these. I'm going to go on the internet. Here's an image of one I found on Amazon. Not really snazzy, is it? I want mine to be really detailed, really cute. I might use the embroidery details from the house doorstop. I might be able to use that, make it bigger. Yeah, that's an idea. I wonder what the biggest size comes out at, and I could just embroider those onto the blocks, and then I've just got the roof to make. If only it were that simple, because I bet they're not that big. But I can use that as a guide, and I want it to match the draft excluder, so that is a plan. I'm going to put a bag of rice inside to weight it down. I'm even going to put probably a little lavender bag in there. I want it to have Velcro bottom so that I can take the lavender bag out, and maybe even the rice needs replacing every so often. I'm thinking out loud here. I've actually got some of the essential oils, and I could put some of that, mix some of that in with the rice, and then I don't need the lavender bag, do I? That will give the scent. So that in my haul serves 2 purposes: stops the door banging, makes the house smell amazing when somebody walks in. So when the rice starts losing its potency, I can just take it out and replace it with a new bag of rice. That's the plan. Number 7 is one that's been around for yonks. I've made these for other people, but never bothered making them for myself, and they're makeup remover pads. And when I go away particularly, these will be really, really handy. I can do them to match my toiletry bag, keep them in the toiletry bag, and then I never go away without them. Now, they're normally done as little circles or little squares, but they're a bit small, I think. Maybe I just have a lot of makeup to remove. One of those will not remove all my makeup. So, again, I've gone on Sweet Pea Designs, because I must spend half my life on that site. Well, I feel like it at the moment anyway. But I'm going to copy one of their designs. I'm not going to buy this one because it's fairly simple, really. Instead of them being a little circle or a little square, they've done them a bit bigger, and they're an oval shape. I'll pop an image up here of them. And then they've put a little strap on the back so that you can put your hand through. So I need to get my oval shape to be the size of my hand, use that as the guide, and then I'll definitely only need one of them. It's not going to drop on the floor because I'll have the strap on the back. And yeah, I'm going to make 7 of those, and I'm going to make a little oval zip bag for them to go in as well, and then they look all nice and bonny. I'm going to probably need a couple of sets just in case, and that's going to use up loads of scraps. I've got some white toweling in my stash, so I won't be buying anything to make these with. Brilliant scrap buster, been around for yonks, but this one has got another twist on them, so looking forward to making those. Project number 8 was on my projects when I first started scrap busting, and I've still not made it, and it is a sewing style sofa tidy. Now, Adam Sews has got one of these as a pattern, so if you want to just purchase a pattern, then I'll pop the link below to Adam's, because it is a really good one. It has a little box that sits on top, I think, with a press stud or Velcro. It's got a little pin cushion on it. It's got a needle minder strap on there, and then 2 pockets to keep all your bits and bobs in. So I may just copy Adam's or use that as my starting point and create my own that suits my needs. And because it's just a strip of fabric with different pockets and things sewn on it, well, that's what I think it is anyway. There might be more to it than that, and I might end up buying Adam's and maybe do a little sew along if I get this right. If I don't, I'll just be buying Adam's. And if you want to make a sewing sofa tidy and you don't want the ag of figuring it out, I've put the link below for Adam's. It is a really good one. Scrappy project number 9 is for my new Guggenheim scissors. Yes, I still keep them in the box because I want to keep them nice and safe, but I'm thinking I want to make a zip up scissor pouch for them that's quilted, that will keep them cushioned and safe and corseted when they're not being used, because these are amazing scissors, let me tell you, and they're on offer again at the moment, so I will pop the link to the offer. I think the half price, so you get them for about £21, something like that. Well, it'd be rude not to buy them, wouldn't it? I can recommend them. I love them. They can be a little bit heavy. I've purchased these myself. Well, my son bought them me for Christmas. So I'm not advertising them. I'm just letting you know these are the scissors I use. I want to look after them, so I'm going to make myself a scissors zip up pouch. It's going to be the Sweet Pea Designs one. Surprise, surprise. There's an image of it. It's got a lovely embroidered pair of scissors on the front. You can make these in lots of different sizes, so I might make some for every pair of scissors in my sewing room. So I've got my applique scissors. I just have some that are paper scissors, so I may not need one for them. They're just old scissors. I've got my Guggenheims. I'm hoping to get the Guggenheim snip scissors soon, so I'll start making little scissor pouches for all my precious scissors going forward. Number 10, last but not least, is another Sweet Pea Designs. I told you, I've spent a week ogling their designs. They have some amazing stuff on there, and it's little pouches for holding your bobbins, your clips and your needles in. So there's one for each, and it's embroidered on the front what's inside. They have very clear plastic window fronts on them, and they're going to be great for using small pieces of fabric up. So there we go. they're my 10 projects for June. I might get them all done. I might get even more done. We'll see how I get on, but I'm committing to getting rid of as much of these scraps as I can over the month of June. And then at the beginning of July, we'll have a reveal vlog and you can see how many projects I've actually managed to achieve. So there we go. They're the 10 projects that I've found to do in June. If you've got any other ideas, pop them in the comments below. If you've made any of the things that I've suggested, then let me know how you did it. If you did a self-drafted one, did you get a pattern? Send me the link for the pattern. I need all the help I can get with this one because I have seriously got to get rid of these scraps. I want to make things that I'm going to use and are going to be useful around the home. So it's been really difficult because I could just sit and make I could make loads and loads of project bags, but I'm not going to use them, and then that's a waste of the waste fabric, isn't it, if you catch my drift? So I'll spend hours sewing and then end up with something that I'm not going to use. So I've chosen 10 that I think I will use and get some use out of, which will hopefully make me make them. But send me your ideas. I'm after any ideas that are going to tidy up my sewing space. Any ideas that look cute around the home that are going to use fabric scraps up, pop them in the comments below. And then maybe I'll carry on never making garments and just using scraps. Never in a million years is that going to happen, is it? But June is going to be my scrap busting month. I've got to get to grips with this. It's getting out of hand and it's getting on my nerves. I've still got the bag in the cupboard from last year or from forever that's full of scraps. So I'm hoping to get rid of these and maybe eat into a few of those as well. Wish me luck and I will see you on the other side. Bye.